tipping 20% at a sit-down restaurant is still the standard, according to most etiquette experts in the U.S. After holding steady for years, though, tipping at full-service restaurants fell to 19.4% in the second quarter of 2023, according to online restaurant platform Toast's most recent restaurant trends report, notching the lowest average since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's the headline, is that the tipping is falling. People are tipping less. Tip fatigue is largely to blame, the report found. During COVID, everyone was feeling generous, said Eric Plom, founder and CEO of San Francisco-based startup UpTip, which aims to facilitate cashless tipping. The problem is that it reached a new standard that we all couldn't really live with. He added, particularly when it comes to tipping prompts at a wider range of establishments, a trend also referred to as tip creep. Now, I'm reminded of, so I saw this pop up, and there's also this kind of viral post making the rounds on Twitter. This is, I don't know where this is from. Some restaurant owner, I saw somewhere in New York, which sounds about right. But some restaurant owner apparently posted this message, which says, directed at her customers, which says, "We expect you to tip 20% minimum. That's the end of the story, period. The number is even printed right there on the check, so you don't have to do any math. When you walk in the door, you enter into a covenant. If you feel any kind of way about this other than 100% accepting, you should stay home. Invest in your own sound system, get some nice glassware, install dimmers on your kitchen lights, put on some candles, and make your own cocktails. I won't say that you should go elsewhere because 20% is the minimum expected tip in bars and restaurants all over this city, and your feelings about the fact are irrelevant. And if you're uncomfortable with a woman having the agency to explain any of this to you, again, stay home." Go ahead and go buck wild in the comments if you feel the need. So this attitude, by the way, is part, we hear about the tip fatigue. This is part of the reason. This totally entitled attitude. And, we've talked about tipping, over the years, really, because it is such an important issue. And I will tell you that this is one issue. I have been radicalized on this. I have been, my own position on tipping has radically changed. I mean, I used to be a big tipper. I used to be, and there's times in the past you could probably find things that I've written or things that I've said years ago, just passionately defending the practice of tipping. And now I find myself way on the other end of it, where I don't want to tip anyone anymore. And I used to be 20% at a minimum. That's your baseline. And you'd have to try really hard to get less than 20%. So if you like C- service, this is how I used to operate. C- service is 20%. And if you get up into B or A+, now I'm going 30. I might tip 35, 40%. Very generous tipping. Now that's not how I look at it anymore. And 20%, it's like that's almost a maximum. Now your baseline is 0, and you got to earn the tip. And I talk to a lot of people that feel the same way about it. And it's not our fault. You pressed it way too much. In the customer service industry, everyone wants a tip now. Everywhere you go, even places where they're not doing anything. Like you go to a coffee shop, and you ask for a coffee, and they just pour the coffee into the cup and hand it to you. Well, I could do that. And there are plenty other, you could just do self-service, and I could do that. There's nothing about your performance of that job that I feel I need to especially reward. You're already rewarded with your paycheck. And whatever you get paid, it may not be a whole lot, but it's probably basically what that is worth. Are you a few years or maybe a few decades out of school and wondering, what the heck did I even learn? What was the point of any of that? You might even be thinking, I don't have the time to learn something. Well, if that's you, you're not alone. And also, the good news is it's not too late. Hillsdale College is offering more than 40 free online courses. You can learn about the works of C.S. Lewis or the rise and fall of the Roman Republic, the history of the ancient Christian church, many other subjects with Hillsdale College's online courses. If you're not sure where to start, well, check out American Citizenship and Its Decline with Victor Davis Hanson. In this 8-lecture course, Victor explores the history of citizenship in the West and the threats it faces today, threats like the erosion of the middle class, the disappearance of our borders, the growth of an unaccountable deep state, the rise of globalist organizations. The course is self-paced so that you can start whenever and wherever. You can start your free course of American Citizenship and Its Decline with Victor Davis Hanson today. But you got to go to hillsdale.edu/Walsh to enroll. There's no cost, easy to get started. That's hillsdale.edu/Walsh to enroll, hillsdale.edu/Walsh. So you go everywhere. It's how ubiquitous tipping is, how prevalent it is everywhere, and the entitled attitude that people have about it. And all of that has made me go all the way to the other end. And now I'm saying you've got to earn it. So it's fine. You want to put tipping prompts everywhere now, everywhere you go, whether you're going to a restaurant or you're going to a grocery store or you're going to the dentist. And now everyone wants a tip. Fine, I can't stop that. But my approach to everybody, including the restaurants, is that you really got to earn it. Give me a reason. Like, I don't know. When I go to a convenience store and buy a couple items, and then they flip the iPad around and say, do you want a tip? I always say, no, I'm not sure what they could do that would inspire me to say, the way they rang up that bottle of water, I got to award that with a tip. So I'm not sure what they could do. But it's possible. But you got to earn it. That's the way tipping always should have been, and that's the way it is now. And if you're in the service industry and you don't like that, well, honestly, you have your own industry to blame. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.